When visitors at Cedar Point Amusement Park in Ohio went to enjoy the Shoot the Rapids ride on July 19, 2013, they had no idea that their day of fun and excitement would turn into a nightmare. The park's newest and most popular water ride, Shoot the Rapids, was designed to stimulate the rush of whitewater rafting and has been a favorite among visitors since its opening in 2010. But on that fateful day, a mechanical problem caused two boats to crash into each other, hurting and traumatizing many people on board. The accident shocked not only the people who went to the park that day, but also the whole amusement park industry. It made people question the safety of such rides and if they should even entrust their lives to these amusement parks that couldn't even guarantee said safety. What caused the mechanical failure on the Shoot the Rapids ride? Was the park held accountable for the accident? And if so, what measures were taken to prevent such incidents from happening again? This is the tragic tale of Shoot the Rapids, which left park visitors injured and traumatized. The history of Shoot the Rapids can be traced all the way back to 1967, when a log flume ride with the same name was first installed in the amusement park. The first log flume ride opened in 1973 and lasted 14 years before being closed in 1981 to make way for the new log flume ride, Shoot the Rapids, the White Landing Water Ride. John Hildebrand, the vice president of Cedar Point, made the announcement concerning the inauguration of the new log flume ride on September 3, 2009. Also, it was mentioned that the new ride's design and construction were handled by Interride LLC, the North American subsidiary of Intamin. The ride had 2,100 feet of rapids and a thrilling wild river adventure, making it one of the tallest log flume rides in the world. This added to the ride's thrill factor and made it one of the most popular rides at the amusement park. Cedar Point and Intamin had a long history of working together, beginning in 1979 when Intamin supplied Cedar Point with its first roller coaster, the Junior Gemini, which is now known as Wilderness Run. Intamin continued to supply rides to Cedar Point during the 1980s and 90s, but the relationship reached its climax in the early 2000s when Intamin provided Cedar Point with Millennium Force, one of the most famous roller coasters that has ever been constructed. Shoot the Rapids was finally launched to the public on June 26, 2010, and it quickly became the most expensive water ride that the park has ever constructed. The ride, on the other hand, was doomed to be difficult right from the beginning because, as it turns out, the thrill factor was not the only feature that set Shoot the Rapids apart from other similar rides. Even though the Shoot the Rapids ride had some structural problems that needed to be fixed, it was still thought to be too scary for the average amusement park visitor to enjoy. In spite of these faults, Cedar Point maintained the operation of the ride, assuring customers that the issues were not serious and that the ride remained risk-free. Now, this brings us to July 19, 2013, when a mechanical malfunction led two boats to crash, which resulted in multiple riders suffering injuries and mental trauma. The accident, which could have been considerably worse, sparked questions about the safety of the ride as well as the precautions taken to safeguard the safety of those who visited the amusement park. The adventure park immediately shut down the ride so that an investigation could be conducted and repairs could be made, but the harm had already been done. This accident would prove to be the final straw for Cedar Fair, the business that runs Cedar Point, and also caused the $10.5 million investment to end up closing forever, less than 5 years after it opened, ultimately leading to the conclusion that they would no longer collaborate with Intamin. The investigation has found that the situation could have been much more dire if not for the actions of other park visitors who dove into the water immediately to save the victims by turning the boat and bringing them out of the water. This is because staff members were still trying to figure out what the problem was rather than rushing to rescue them. The investigation also revealed that the ride's conveyor belt, which was responsible for lifting the boats back to the loading platform, had malfunctioned, causing the two boats to collide with each other. Furthermore, the ride's water pump, which was responsible for circulating water throughout the ride, had also malfunctioned, which led to a decrease in the water level and made it difficult for the boats to maneuver their way through the rapids. The investigation also discovered that the ride's emergency stop button, which was supposed to bring the ride to a stop in the event of an emergency, had been deactivated, making it impossible for the operators to stop the ride promptly. This carelessness in both the upkeep and operation of the ride was eventually what caused the accident that resulted in several riders sustaining injuries. In a statement, the amusement park's management said they were sorry about what had happened and assured the public that the ride in question had been through many inspections and tests before it would reopen and that all of the necessary safety measures had been taken. Now, what precautions were put in place? In order to perform the regular repairs and upgrades, Cedar Point temporarily closed the ride for the duration of the 2013 season. The ride was then reopened in 2014 with additional safety features such as an upgraded emergency stop button, new water pumps, and a new conveyor belt, among other upgrades. The amusement park also put in place new rules for the people who ran the rides, such as giving them more training and doing regular checks of how the rides work and how they are put together. They furthermore put brand new safety cameras all around the ride in order to keep a closer eye on it. These were the measures put into place to protect the well-being of the guests and prevent any future accidents that would be similar to the one that occurred. However, in February 2016, construction personnel were seen removing elements of the ride's structure, which led many people to believe that the ride would no longer be operational. Officials from Cedar Point initially did not comment on the topic, but later in the same month, during the park's annual Winter Chill Out off-season tour, the park revealed that the ride would not reopen in 2016 and would be removed from the park altogether due to the fact that the ride had lost popularity. It was replaced by Professor Delbert's Frontier Fling, a new ride that had to move from its old spot because the Cedar Point Shores water park area was being built. The ride was renamed after the professor who invented it. But many people who had enjoyed the thrill of Shoot the Rapids felt a deep sense of loss when the attraction was taken out of service. Ever since it first opened its doors in 2010, the ride has been a fan favorite with guests, and it has been an exciting addition to the park's collection of thrills. The tragedy that happened on Cedar Point's Shoot the Rapids is a sobering reminder of how important it is for amusement rides to be safe and also how necessary it is to maintain and check them regularly. The accident sent shockwaves through the amusement park industry, and it should serve as a wake-up call for parks to place a higher priority on safety and make certain that their attractions are properly maintained and inspected. Both the people in charge of the park and the people who work there should know about the safety rules and how important it is to follow them. It's a tale that ought to be retold and kept in mind as a sobering reminder for the times to come. Now we know about the terrible tragedy that took place on July 19, 2013, which left several passengers injured and traumatized, and which finally resulted in the ride being permanently shut down as a result of the aftermath of the incident.